Let's talk about the Oscars or the Academy Awards. Are they still relevant? Were they ever relevant? Don't get me wrong, I love those ceremonies. I've been watching them since I was 10 years old. So I've actually been watching those award ceremonies for almost 30 years. I know. I loved it maybe because I'm in this business and I always wanted to be in this business, and I knew that one day I would get there. When I was 10, I used to watch them and think, oh my God, one day I'm gonna be walking on those red carpets, waving at people, and they are gonna reward me for all the hard work that has taken me to get there. But then I decided to study this. Yeah, I actually went 4 years to university to get a degree in arts, performance, and film. And like 4 years wasn't enough, I made a postgrad in film criticism. For some reason, I thought that was the right way to take me there. There's something funny about studying something so deeply that sometimes you just kind of lose the reason why you started this from the beginning. Don't get me wrong, I love my career. I've been working in this for more than 20 years. And it's like studying magic. You know, like when you were a kid and you actually loved magic and you love being surprised, and then you decide to find out how to make the magic, and then once you're backstage, you're like, oh, so everything is a trick. And you lose a little bit of the magic. Not that I lost the magic of it, but at least of the awards a little bit. A lot of people ask me, do you still want to get an award? You know, of course I do, because it's great for publicity. It's not that I don't think that absolutely everyone who has ever got an award doesn't deserve it. Actually, 100% of them deserve it. Actually, 100% of the nominees deserve it. But it's just not about deserving it. It's about, or are they good, or are they not that good? It's about, are they the best? That is a little trick we have in our minds, and we want to believe that the Academy Awards only reward the best of the best. And that is a trick in our brains that we should let go. Because if we know how the Academy Awards work, we will understand that it's way more about popularity. And it's not because the system is corrupt and they only want to reward certain people and others not. No, it's actually because it's a very democratic system. A lot of people think that the Academy Awards are 10 wise men and women who are experts in this subject and get to choose the best of the best, and they watch everything and they just reward the best. But it doesn't work like that. It's actually more than 3,000 people, yes, chosen from the Hollywood system. Hair designers, makeup artists, directors, producers, actors, people who work in the business, who get a list of absolutely every single project that it's out there to compete. And they have to choose and make a short list from about 1,000 movies, short films, animations, songs. How do they do that? How do they watch 1,000 pieces of art? They don't. And that's when it gets tricky. The thing is, these 3,000 people get a list of every project that is out there. But honestly, they don't get to see them. So how do they even choose? So normally they choose by something called top of mind, whatever comes to their brain. Either a project that they're working on, or a project that their friends are working on, or something that they heard. So for example, give The Irishman. Probably a lot of people have seen it, but most people I know have not even seen The Irishman. Though it's on Netflix and it's on streaming, you don't even have to go to the movies. Most people haven't watched it. But if I tell you The Irishman, probably you already know what movie I'm talking about. Why? Because there's been a lot of publicity around it. It's a Netflix movie and it has big names attached to it. Martin Scorsese as the director, and actors like Al Pacino and Robert De Niro and Joe Pesci. So if you see in the list The Irishman, though you haven't seen it, you might choose it just because you assume it's gonna be good. And most of the people just choose from what they think it's gonna be good enough because they don't have time to watch them all. Now, a lot of filmmakers, the producers and the directors, have found out systems to make sure they're in the top of mind or the awareness of the people who have to vote, which is to send them CDs. Yes, I did say CDs. And I am talking about 2020. They still send CDs. This is not made by the Academy. This has to be done by the filmmaker who wants to invest in this. It's a lot of money to go and print out 3,000 CDs. to send them to all of them and make sure they actually have the material to watch it. Why do they use CDs? If there's a streaming version like The Irishman, it's very useful, but normally they get the movies way before they even stream it. So even Netflix will have to send CDs. They don't send USBs or digital versions because they're afraid they can be copied. That is a lot of money. And even if I had that amount of money, let's say me, Franny, I had enough money to print out 3,000. Who are those 3,000 people? How do I get to that list? And even if I had the list, how do I know their address? Where do I send them? How do I make sure they receive it? There's people you can hire for that, and those are way more expensive. Now, even if you send 3,000 copies and every single person receives a copy, that doesn't mean they watch it. Normally, it's just about awareness and top of mind. As I said, like The Irishman, it doesn't mean they actually watch it. They just remember the picture in the CD, the name, the people attached to it. And then you have a little bit more chances to at least get to the short list. Once the short list is chosen, most of those people do actually watch 10 to 15 minutes of the movie. Yes, not even more. Nobody has time to watch all the movies in the shortlist. Even if you actually even make it to the shortlist, people are not even gonna watch it. So sometimes the people choose by name, choose by something they already know. I already know Al Pacino, he's a great actor. I already know Scorsese, he's a great director. So they got to the nomination lists. So once you get to the nomination lists, it does mean you're good. If you're bad, rarely you're gonna get there. Rarely there's bad people in the business because it's so expensive. It's such a difficult business. You know how long it takes to make a film? Anybody who has made a film should get an award just for the effort that it takes making the film. Even if it is a bad film, the smallest film involves 20 people to 150. Most movies involve 1,000 people. It's a lot of money, a lot of people, and a lot of time. Normally it takes up to 2 years, the minimum, to make a movie. Most movies with less budget takes up to 6 to 8 years. 2 years for the script, then 1 to 2 years for the production, and then up to 2 more years for the post-production, 3 or 4, depending if it's an animation where it has visual effects. Even for a studio like Pixar, it can take 4 years to make an animation. It's not easy. So honestly, anyone who makes it to that list deserves an award. Everyone who makes it to the short list and everyone who makes it to the nominees. But remember, it doesn't necessarily mean that they are the best of the best. It just meant that people know their names, recognize them, or had enough budget and resources to send copies to all those people, make billboards, to make a lot of effort to get to them. So that is the thing with the Oscars. There's other videos if you want to check them out. One is about female directors. People are asking me, what is the deal with female directors and why are they not getting more awards? Are they bad? Do they make bad content? Do people hate female directors? And what can we do to get more exposure as female directors? Check out the female director video. And that's it. You ask, Franny explains.